So I've actually kind of gone through the project worksheet. I've read through it a couple times, and then I've actually pretty much answered most of these questions. I have them all figured out. So basically, my product that I chose is beer, and then my demographic will be Latino or Hispanics. Remember, all the demographics we're talking about in this chapter have to do, they're all within the United States. So Spanish-speaking people, Latino or Hispanics, are within the United States, is what's being discussed in Chapter 4. So Asian Americans, African Americans, we're not really talking about like the global scene yet, so just keep that in mind. I was actually a little bit confused myself about that. So, and then basically my type of advertising is going to be an outdoor sign. And then the cultural theme that I'm going with is going to be kind of community, because Latinos or Hispanics really have more of a community-based culture. That's what the book said. So I'm going to try and have more of like a cultural-based theme with imagery showing several people, a culture of people, kind of a group of people, friends and whatnot, community-based type imagery. So, and then I have a headline and a subhead figured out, and then a call to action. I'm not going to have any body copy because this is an outdoor advertising sign, so I don't really need it to be that detailed. And the font I'm going to use is probably just kind of a basic Helvetica type font, serif font, or sans serif font. And then I'm going to use colors that are kind of remind me of like Texas or Mexico, or maybe like hot sauce, which is kind of like, I know that's kind of in bad taste, but I'm thinking red, green, and white. Because it's the Mexican flag is red, green, and white, and so Mexico is the closest Spanish-speaking country, so I'm going to kind of go with that. And then this will run in, it'll be actually an outdoor advertising sign that I'm thinking will go up in a soccer field in Texas somewhere, so it'll be there during, the games for people to see. So, and the people at games like to drink beer, so it makes sense to advertise to them. So that's kind of my idea before I even start designing. And so I actually did find, some decent pictures on Google, and I just went to Google Images. And then this one's not a bad size, so I'm just going to do a control click, open an image in a new tab, and then right click if you're on a PC. And so right click on it again, or control click on a Mac, and then just save it to your downloads. So it goes into your downloads folder. And then I also found this picture of a generic beer bottle. So I am gonna feature the product in my ad as well. So I'm going to do a right click, download, save image to downloads, or you can open it up in a new tab and get it full size. But this is actually a decent size for what I need. And then I'm actually going to remove the background of this beer bottle here by uploading the image, and then selecting that from my downloads folder, push choose. And so this remove.bg, or you can just Google remove background, will automatically, you can just upload your image and download it again with the background removed. So it's kind of nice that it does that. So that went back to that. I downloaded that back into my downloads folder, so I have one in here without the background in it. And then if we go back to Canva, I'm just going to create a design here from scratch. You can use whatever template you want. And there's, even if you come up here to create a design, there's even more down here. So, I mean, if you guys do a newsprint ad or billboard or anything like that, you can come in here and probably find something that's similar. But if you do a billboard, you can obviously just create a design. You can do custom size, and then we'll just kind of pretend like this is 11 inches. Let's change this to inches. 11 inches is 11 feet, and then 5 inches is 5 feet. So we're just going to set it up at 11 by 5 inches. If you need to change this to inches, please do, and then just push create design. And we're just going to pretend like the inches are feet. And there's even some templates over here that you can click on. Some of them are free, and you can work off those, but I'm just going to start from scratch. So I'm going to start by uploading those 2 files from my device. So you just go to uploads here, upload media from device, and then go into your downloads, and then click on the 2 that you want to bring in. Oops, sorry, dang it. The 2 that you want to bring in. So So I want to bring in this cheers, and let's just pretend I brought in my beer bottle, but you just upload the media. It's already in here because I've done this before. But so if we click on this, we can bring this in, this picture. I just clicked on it, and I can actually size it up by grabbing the corners and dragging to fill up my canvas. And that's pretty good. And then if I want to bring in my beer bottle with the background removed, I can quickly do that. And then I'll push Shift and just Command Z to undo. Command Z as in zebra to undo. You can just click and drag it. I don't think you have to push Shift. And so maybe I'll just set that here. And then let's bring in our headline. And this is a really basic headline. I'm not thinking that we're going to be winning any awards here, but so if we bring in text, we can go to the text over here, click on this. I'm just going to use this because I kind of like this font. So I'm just going to start typing it in. So, and then I can actually resize this. So I'm actually going to just enter in the size. I'm going to make it 50. That's looking pretty good. We can change the colors as well by clicking and dragging, highlighting, and then coming up here to this A, and we can change the colors. So we can actually search for a color. Maybe I might want this red. Like I said, I wanted red, green, and yellow as my colors. And sometimes things are grouped together. You can tell they're grouped together because they have this kind of dotted line, so you can ungroup. And actually I can delete this. So I'm going to make this, actually, I'm going to change this back to white, or back to white, I'm going to just add a apostrophe here. And then I'm going to actually click on this background photo and push effects. And then I'm going to go into this duotone area and I'm going to do fuchsia. So that's kind of the red in the piece. And then I can kind of center this. Maybe I'm going to use my little keyboard a little bit to just kind of make it a little bit different. I can double click on it to crop it differently. So I'm going to bring the people up in the canvas a little bit. So that's pretty good. And then I want a shape. So I can go into elements and I can go, there's a lot of different shapes in here that you can use, but I just want a basic shape. There's also stickers. So you can go through here and explore and see what you want to use, but I just actually want to use this simple shape of a square. And I can change the color up here. I'm going to go for more of a green color. Like I said, I wanted red, green, and white mostly. And I'm just going to use this box. And I can change the opacity of this box up here. So I want to kind of be able to see through it. Maybe not totally well, but... And then if I want to position this, I can move it backward. So position, and you can move backward. So I want it behind the beer bottle. Be something like that. Now, I'm not saying that we're going for award-winning ads here, but just something, I just want you guys to try it out and give it a little effort and a little thought as to, you know, what is going to work for your product type and the type of demographic that you're choosing from Chapter 4. Who everybody is actually, you know, all the demographics that we'd be talking about are people that live in the United States. But so I'm using Libre Franklin, and there's some other ones that we can use, but let's go to text and let's just add in a subheading. And then if I want to change this text, I can go here and I can actually look for, oops, excuse me, that's wrong. I can actually go here and search for Libre Franklin, and I actually want to use the medium. So sometimes you have to search for your font to see all the different options that you have with the fonts. So I'm using so this is really basic, but there is a call to action here. So something like that. I am asking the audience to do something. So have a basic call to action. and maybe at least a headline and maybe a subhead even if you want to add that in. I'm going to keep mine really simple because it's outdoor advertising. And so if you want to go super simple with yours, outdoor advertising might be the route that you want to go with. And hopefully your message gets across to the viewer really easily with outdoor advertising. It should be super straightforward, but let me plug in my computer because it's going to die. Also, another good idea might be to highlight your call to action a little bit. So this box is really helping to bring that out a little bit. And I might actually make this all caps by clicking on this. I think it looks a little better that way. And then I'm actually going to I'm going to move all this up just a smidge so that I can add a logo in. So, and I'm going to shrink this down just a smidgen too. I have to make room for a logo. So I want you to just bring in kind of a generic shape for your logo. So let's go to Elements, Shapes, and if you want to see more, you can do see all. I think there's a diamond in here somewhere that I can use. Here it is. So we can click that and it'll bring it in, and I can actually change the color of it too. So size it down, add it over here maybe, and then let's go back to text and add subheading. I'm going to use the same font that I used before, Libre Frank. So maybe I'll use black this time. Did that work? Okay, that worked that time. And then maybe it's kind of a Mexican beer because this looks like Corona kind of, but maybe I'll change the color of this to stand out a little bit better against the background. Something like that. These are going to be really generic, but they're still going to have some cultural themes, a headline, a call to action. Maybe I should say that's a little bit relevant, that ties into the imagery. Yeah, something like that. And then, yeah, don't forget your logo in there. And then, you know, you can have a product image if you want, but it should be something that people can see right away. I'm afraid with this ad, it's falling a little short because you can't really see what the people in the background are doing. The other image that I used might have worked a little bit better when I was experimenting, but if I move the people up a little bit so you can see the beer a little bit better, that might help. And maybe if I add this, just put it all on one line. Or maybe I can even do this smaller. And it doesn't let you do it separate. The size is separate, which is kind of lame. But yeah, that's not too bad. You can see that I've adjusted it so that you can see what they're doing. And it's super simple, but I was going to say a taste of Mexico to be enjoyed together. Try it today, but I'm not actually advertising to Mexicans, so I'm advertising to Latinos or Hispanics, and they're very culturally, they're more communally focused, so it is a sense of community here, and the people in the ad do look like they could pass as Latino or Hispanic. But anyway, yeah, these don't have to be works of art by any means, but I do want you to take time and put some effort forth and try to answer some basic questions and try to tie in your demographic to your design and your concept if possible. All right, we'll talk to you later.